this is famous stuff which you probably heard before, but it doesn't hurt to hear it again. And it doesn't hurt to hear it inside. Because when you hear it, you didn't see it inside. So it says, in this week's Parsha, the Chavetz Chaim wants to say, Zohi said Torah Adam ki yemos ba'ohel. This is the Torah of a man who dies in a tent. The famous thing here. He says, the Chavetz Chaim asks the Kasha. Chazal tells us in Gemara Brachos, Ein divrei Torah miskayim el b'mi shemeis atzmo ba'aleim. The Torah is only established on somebody who kills himself over them. That's the Chavetz Chaim. It says in the pasuk, Chai b'hem. You're supposed to live with the Torah. V'lo shemis b'hem. You're not supposed to die with the Torah. You're not supposed to kill yourself literally over the Torah. So what does it mean that you're only mekayim in a person that's going to kill himself over? You're supposed to live with them. So he brings a mashal, which the Chavetz Chaim often does. Once a guy was so osek in business, he's making tons and tons of money. He didn't have time even to go to the Beit Knesset to daven. What happened was, he started to get a couple gray hairs. He started to feel a little bit weaker, and he says, listen, what's going to be? I better get myself ready for the next world. So he decides, you know what? I'm going to start to go to the Beit Knesset. He starts to go to the Beit Knesset. And then he decides, you know, I'm going to learn for a couple hours after davening. Okay, he does that. He does that one day. His wife is like, you know, what happened? You know, okay, I was busy. I didn't make it to the store. The store is meanwhile full of people. People are coming from all over around. They're waiting for the balabayas. Where is he? What's going on? Okay, that was the first day. Second day, again, his wife sees that he doesn't show up for the store. People are waiting for him. It's business, a big business, and there's competition. There's all kinds of things going on. His wife says, "Listen, I'm gonna go see, get to the bottom of this." The wife goes to the Beit Knesset, and he sees her husband learning there. She's in shock. What's going on? She starts screaming at him, barabim even. It says, that's the way he says the story. What are you doing here? The store is filled with people. All the merchants are coming. Everybody wants to buy from you. You know what's happening? They're waiting for you. So he says back to her, imagine if, God forbid, lo aleinu, the Malach HaMavis comes, says, listen, your time's up, you gotta go, it's time to go. Can I say to him, no, the store is filled, listen, wait, I got business, I got customers, I got things to do. There's no talking to the Malach HaMavis, he doesn't care, he's not interested that you have customers. When he comes along, he takes you, that's it. He says, listen to his wife, you should be happy. The Malach, you should be happy. If I was to leave this world, I wouldn't be able to come to the store at all. Now I come a little bit late. So it's like I have Techiyas Ameithim. It's like I came back from the dead. So the Chavetz Chaim wants to say that this is Peshat. What does it mean that a man has to kill himself over the Torah? It means you have to make yourself like you're dead. As if you're dead. In other words, there's all kinds of tirchas in the world. There's all kinds of things. We know life is pulling us all different ways. But you have to convey times to the Torah. If, God forbid, the person was really leave the world, there would be no excuse. So a person has to make himself as if. He said, listen, if I was to die, surely I would have time free. So also now I have time free. So he brings the notes here in the Chavetz Chaim, brings the Perkei Avos, Perek Daled. If a person starts to bittul Torah, this is exactly what happens. As soon as you start to fall out, all of a sudden the wife is calling and the kids are calling, what's going on? I need your help here. You know, there's no vacuum. In spirituality, there's no vacuum. If you fill the vacuum with Torah, it gets filled with Torah. As soon as you start to battle, all these things start happening. They need you here, they need you there, they need you that. You get pulled out. It's a Mefarish Perkei Avos, he wants to say. And not only that, he brings Gemara Brachos. It says, doors Rishonim sha'asu Torah v'kaviyas malacha arai. The doors before, at least they made their Torah, they fixed their Torah, and they made the work on the side. And it worked. But the later doors, they made the work the essential. They put the Torah on the side and neither worked. They got pulled out of Torah, they weren't successful. The main thing is we have to fix, the person has to fix himself into learning. So it's more than that. It's not only in the physical, it's not only physically that we have to be in the basement, but we also mentally have to be here. The Midas HaTorah, this is my Chavrusa translated this sefer here. One of my old Chavrusas. It says, this is the brother of the Vilna Gaon. A person should distance his thoughts. Should Torah Satom Avatlin Usom in a Torah. not only physically do we have to be in the Beis Midrash, but there's also mentally, we're being pulled. We're being pulled all kinds of ways. We have all kinds of tirchas, parnasses, kids, all kinds of problems. A person has to learn to train himself that he doesn't have these thoughts. He brings down the Pesukim here. He says like this. A person has to take away any thoughts, any worries that a person has that it's mavato himself from Torah. How can you concentrate? How can you concentrate on a Rashba and a Ritva if you're thinking about all your problems? He says you should hate those thoughts. It says here like this, it says, the Torah I love, and I hate Shekir. What does it mean, Shekir? Yeah. This word is called Olam HaSheker. It's there just to pull you away. It's all kinds of tricks. The person has to hate these thoughts, to hate the thoughts that are stopping him from learning. There's also a famous story that one time the Rev Aaron Cutler, somebody came to him. I can't learn. How can I learn? I got all these problems. He comes to the Beis Midrash day after day, and he can't learn. He's thinking all day about his problems. He says, listen, before you come into the Beis Midrash, put everything in a pechalach, in a little suitcase, and leave it at the door of the Beis Midrash. And go ahead out, and when you come out of the Beis Midrash at the end after 1 o'clock Seder, pick up your pechalach and go home. And he says, sometimes you don't even have to. Sometimes you can leave the pechalach there even on the way out. You don't have to pick up your pechalach. You don't have to worry about those things. If you've seen Gedolim, you've seen big people, they have this tremendous ability to leave the outside world outside. It's a training. I've seen people, I know debts, Rosh Yeshivas with tremendous debts, tremendous problems, all kinds of things. They come to the Beis Midrash, that's it. They're in the Sugya. I know my own Rebbe. He have all these debts, all these things going on. He comes to the Beis Midrash, he's in the Libra, that's it. It's Rashba, it's Ritva, it's Tosfos, that's it. You have to leave it on the side. Now listen to this.